Lovely
Hi, Major.
background.
Good evening, Major Smita. Good evening, Khan Lokesh ji.
Good evening, ma'am. Lovely background.
Thank you. You wear it on a chest. We don't have that honor, so we can just do this much for.
We can all fly it in our houses. We can all salute it. That is the honor everyone has.
Yes, definitely, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ashish.
Good evening, Ashish.
Hi, sir. Jai Hind and
Jai Hind.
Heartiest congratulations to all of you on the 22nd anniversary of Operation Vijay. I hope I have the statistics correct, sir. I have so many people over here who have seen the truth from, I think, ground zero that they say.
Smita, we lost you. No voice.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yes, sir. Is the host gone? I cannot see.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, Sangeeta.
Very good evening. Very good evening to all of you. So good to have you all here.
It's a proud moment for all of us, in fact.
Hello, Mayank.
Hello.
Hey.
Satish sir is here. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Very good evening. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening,
How are you?
Satish sir. Jai Hind and welcome
Jai Hind.
to Air Watan Tere Liye.
Thank you.
So I guess we are all here.
Mhm.
Right. Smita.
Shall we start?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. Good evening, Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
मिटा दिया है वजूद उनका जो भी इनसे भिड़ा है, देश की रक्षा का संकल्प लिए जो जवान सरहद पे खड़ा है. Jai Hind. Good evening. Warm regards to all of you on 22nd anniversary of Operation Vijay. Welcome to the event Air Watan Tere Liye, an honor to celebrate Kargil Divas, hosted by We the Road Queens and BCI, Biking Community of India. 26 July 1999, India successfully took command of the highest outposts and sections of Kargil district in Jammu and Kashmir from the clutches of Pakistanis. The war that was fought for more than 60 days, leading to the sacrifice of 567 brave Indian soldiers losing their lives and more than thousands being injured. Kargil Divas is celebrated in honor of all such war heroes. Jai Hind. I am not the right person to be introducing all of these things, but it gives me immense pleasure to say that hamari ragon mein bhi fauji khoon daudta hai. So whatever we are saying comes straight from our heart. It is not that just I'm doing my duty as an anchor or doing my job, but yes, it just gave me 5 minutes to decide we are going on with this program when Sangeeta said, yes, we are going ahead with it. So like they say, tayyar raho, tatpar raho. So we are all set to continue the program. I am blessed and it gives me immense pleasure, honor to have few people in this forum, which I think no introduction, they actually don't need anything for the introduction, or they just don't do anything for the introduction. Whatever they do it straight from the heart and straight for the motherland. So before I start with anything, a warm welcome, official welcome to all of you.
Thank you
I
so
would like
much.
to introduce all the speakers out here. We have Colonel Lokesh Saxena ji. We have Colonel Satish Malik.
Good evening.
Major Smita Verma, retired.
Good evening, everybody.
Umesh Gopinath Jadhav. I am doubtful whether we'll be actually seeing him tonight or not. Actually, he is almost in the last leg of his completion of his patriotic ride, and he just reached Kargil today. as the last post for his ride. So if at all there are no network issues, then we will definitely be seeing him. And then we have Ashish. So not many speakers, and not to waste any time, let us just start with the program we are all here for, Ae Watan Tere Liye. So I would like the host, Sangeeta Sahu, the founder of We the Road Queens, as her logo says, biking by passion, social work by compassion. An avid biker, a social activist and motivational speaker, my sister. I would like her to welcome all the guests on board. Over to you, Sangeeta.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for this very elaborate introduction. Not sure if I deserved it, but definitely biking from Dil Se. So thank you, Smita, officially. Good evening, esteemed ladies and gentlemen. Ladies may Smita and Smita.
You can say Smita Square.
So on this eve of 22nd anniversary of the glorious victory of India over Pakistan in the Kargil War, we the Road Queens, along with our co-host BCI, we have Mayank and Ashish from BCI, extend a warm welcome to our eminent heroes who have served the nation with full enthusiasm and valor. The motto of this webinar is to remember the war heroes and also to guide the civilians and each Indian towards nation building, because we all have some responsibility towards the society. So here we are discussing how each individual, in whichever capacity he or she is, should realize and do his or her responsibility towards the society and towards the nation. So first and foremost, I would welcome Colonel Satish Malik, a Kargil war hero. Gratitude to you, sir, for accepting our invitation to share your experiences.
Thank you.
I also take extreme pleasure in welcoming Colonel Lokesh Saxena for taking time.
Thank you, ma'am.
And motivate the audience and all of us through this platform. Thank you, sir. Also,
Pleasure,
I'm extremely thrilled to welcome Major Smita Verma onto this platform. Madam, I'm humbled that you accepted our invitation. And you chose to discuss how general masses and private job holders can still be a part of armed forces. You would also share your experiences as a woman officer in the male-dominated armed forces, I would say. And nevertheless, I would also like to welcome Mr. Umesh Jadhav. As Smita already said, he is in the last leg of his nationwide ride. So although we connected in the morning and he assured his presence, but he also mentioned that he might have some connectivity issues. I hope we find him today. We are able to discuss and we are able to share. He's able to share his experiences, and he's the one who, being a civilian, has led by example. And he actually has shown how an Indian national, be in whichever capacity he or she is, can show exemplary patriotism towards nation. So I'm not very good at it. So I would now leave the show on to you, Smita, for better coordination and introduction of our very esteemed guests here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta. Like they say, कज़ा दूर लगती है अभी, चलो कब्रिस्तान घूम के आए. कज़ा means death or मौत, like they say. कज़ा दूर लगती है अभी, चलो कब्रिस्तान घूम के आए. देश फिर से धर्म जातियों में बटा रहा है, चलो हिंदुस्तान ढूंढ के लाएं. हिंदुस्तान तो मिल ही जाएगा साथी मेरे, हिंदुस्तान तो मिल ही जाएगा साथी मेरे. पहले देश प्रेम और इंसानियत से भरा एक आध इंसान ढूंढ के लाएं। पहले इंसानियत और देश प्रेम से भरा एक आध हिंदुस्तानी ढूंढ के लाएं। Actually, very truly said Sangeeta, it is not when we talk about patriotism, we only think of these khakis or that vardis we all generally, used to be referring them to as. So why only they have to justify this term? Why not a common man? Why not you, me, or the passerby? If this country is for everybody. When you have your rights, like they say, with the rights comes responsibilities. So every individual should be doing a bit. For me, it is not just, holding your tricolor in your hand and shouting out slogans or cheering for India in India and Pakistan match, or, just saluting or standing up when the national anthem is being played. It is for me what you are thinking, you are doing, your actions on a day-to-day basis. As a person, how can I contribute to the nation? So I think, like they say, you are never too small to make a big difference. So here in this platform, we all should be discussing our own contributions, how a general, like civilians is the actual term we use. How can I relive my old days here? So how they can contribute to the world called patriotism. But I say it is not a word, it is a lifestyle. You have to live it. So welcoming upon our first speaker for tonight, Colonel Lokesh Saxena ji, an alumni of Hyderabad Public School, Begumpet, and Nizam College, an Indian Military Academy pass out. Colonel Lokesh Saxena has 24 years of service experience under his belt in the infantry, being commissioned in Assam Regiment, posted in various action-packed roles like doing tour of duty with Para Special Forces, then important command and staff appointments in operational as well as counter-insurgency areas of Jammu and Kashmir and almost all of Northeast. Posted at Raj Bhavan as personal staff to the governor, counter-insurgency training school, and at Military Police Center and school, posted in the Services Selection Board, and was engaged in recruiting officer candidates. Also represented the country as a part of United Nations peacekeeping contingent to the Democratic Republic of Congo. So it's a proud moment for us to have you here.
Thank you so much.
He has
It's a
recently
privilege for me.
retired. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you for the kind words. I hope I deserve all the adulation that you have bestowed upon me. I take this opportunity to introduce, or rather bring to you my colleague and my senior. Let me introduce to you Colonel Satish Malik. Colonel Malik, welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Colonel Malik is a battle-hardened veteran of the Kargil War. My salutes to you, sir.
Thank you.
Disabled in the war, but has not let that disability deter him. He is an avid biker, has traveled almost the entire country on his bike. As the soldier says, he doesn't know borders. He has also crossed a couple of borders on his two-wheeler and four-wheeler probably. Colonel Satish is also an avid photographer with many photography exhibits to his credit. He also teaches photography. Sir, I hope to learn
I think
from
we
you.
have lost the connectivity.
Let me check.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you.
It's
Yes,
on.
sir. Please go
We all
ahead.
can hear.
Yeah, sir, are you on? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Colonel Satish is an avid photographer. He is credited with many exhibits under his belt. He also teaches photography. Sir, I wish to learn from you a couple of tricks.
Certainly, we'll do that.
In his second innings, Colonel Satish is a corporate honcho. He is a risk assessment consultant settled in Pune with his family. Welcome, sir. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Over to you, Smita.
Thank you so much, Colonel Lokesh. Actually, I don't know. Matlab, I think I was not worthy enough to introduce sir. All I would like to say a few lines for you, sir. सरफरोशी की तमन्ना आज हमारे सर दिल में है, देखना है जोर कितना बाजुए कातिल में है. Very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we have Major Smita Verma, retired, innovative, creative, energetic, and dynamic personality, ex-army officer, awarded by Iconic Woman Award 2019, Adventure Drive Mahindra KUV 100 awardee. Right now, she's an HR operations, administration, and training personnel, and she is also a lot into motor rally. Welcome, Smita ma'am. Like I said, we have Umesh Gopinath sir also. He is an avid writer. Like my sister said, right now he is on a road trip, which is almost at the end of this at Kargil tonight. He reached Kargil today morning only. So if everything goes well, we will be able to connect with him. And we have Ashish Singh, who is the co-host for us tonight. And he's also the founder of Royal Cruisers Bangalore and chief admin of Biking Community of India. This community is the largest community of bikers as per Indian Book of Records. He also holds the record for largest plantation drives across India. So to start with our discussions for this evening, I would like to call upon Colonel Lokesh Saxena ji. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Smita. Good evening, everyone. Jumping straight to the topic of today's discussion. What do civilians need to do to show patriotism? To put it in simple words. As an armed forces officer, I would like to share a few thoughts on this issue. When I was commissioned into the armed forces when I was 20 years old. Green behind the ears, did not know anything about the war. Straight out of college into the army. I would like to say I'm the first and probably the only person from my family to join the armed forces. People in my family took it upon themselves to question me, कि फौज में होता क्या है? Some of them were critical. Some would say, what's the big deal? I mean, you're paid to do what you're doing. You chose this profession, you get paid. So I would reply to them thus, fine, I am an army officer, infantry officer at that. My job is to protect the borders of the country. I get paid an X amount from, of course, your tax money. You pay the tax, which is why I get my pay. I'm grateful to you for paying your taxes on time. I spent 10 months to 4 years training in an academy, which was again funded by your tax money. The academy would spend about 10,000 rupees a week on my food, clothing, accommodation, and training, again from your tax money. Therefore, it is not that you should be grateful to me, I should be grateful to you. I have learned a lot from many people like you, not all were Fojis. The teacher who taught me basics of quantum dynamics, the orderly who would ready my uniform, the waiter who would fill my glass with water, the cook who ensured that I never slept hungry. All these people taught me. They taught me the value of effort. What effort goes into making an officer. That I remember till today. Therefore, it is not necessary that one has to wear a uniform to be patriotic. Who is after all a patriot? A patriot is one who is prepared to defend his country under all costs, even against his own government. That is what a patriot is, in my view. So what happens to a civilian when he says, oh, but what can I do to be a patriot? Simple things. Respect the country that you live in. Respect the flag that flies over you. If you cannot respect the flag that flies over you, serve under the flag. You will either learn to respect it or you will come back wrapped in one. Today we have we have a lot of these young civilians. I wouldn't call them civilians, young citizens of this country who are Azadi conscious. We want Azadi from X, Y, Z. We want Azadi from patriarchy. We want Azadi from government. All this, we see it every day. It's going on. I urge them every day of my life. I urge them to join the armed forces. Not for long, for 5 years. Give your life to the armed forces for 5 years. See what the conditions are there prevalent, and then decide what Azadi you want. What is the cost of that Azadi? Okay, having said this, let me tell you about what normal Indian citizens, I wouldn't say normal, again, it's a wrong choice of word. I would say citizens who are not wearing the uniform. Citizens who are not wearing the uniform are also soldiers without uniform. And what they should do, they ought to do as patriots or as responsible citizens of this country. One, don't litter. We are on a cleanliness drive, don't litter. We are all bikers, we go across the country. We don't litter. And that is the message we spread to everybody. Don't litter, pick up your trash. Pay your taxes on time. Be responsible when you vote. Go out and vote. Because if you do not vote, you lose the right to crib. You haven't chosen the government, you cannot crib about the government. So be responsible and vote. My colleagues would like to add more. Kal Malik sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lokesh. It was actually absolute pleasure listening to you. You speak very well. I think most of us who wore uniform at one point of time would think alike. I mean, whatever you have conveyed, the same sentiments even I have. You know, when Smita and Sangeeta, they were introducing us, and especially me, I was called a Kargil War hero. This is you know, one term which makes me a little uncomfortable.
It does, it does.
No,
Sure it
no,
does.
no. One individual is hero. You know.
I agree with you
and-
on this.
And anybody who was who served in the army or still serving in the army is a hero and is at the same time a non-hero. There's so many other heroes that we have in life.
22
there-
years hence, 22
Yeah.
years hence, even today when I talk about Kargil, I get a lump in my throat.
So and again, I mean, hero worship is something which is very, very prevalent. Like very recently, since COVID started, we
When
had all
doctors
these,
became our heroes.
you know, the COVID heroes. They were pandemic heroes. So instead of hero worshiping, if we can just think of what we can do the best for the nation, for the humanity, for the society. So if everybody does that, everybody is a hero. I mean, I get reminded of my own grandmother. She was illiterate. And again, the extreme rural villages, we had a lot of untouchability at that time. So my Muslim friends, they were most welcome to my house, but there would be a separate glass and separate plate for them. So that kind of untouchability. But I still remember, I mean, we used to live on a road on which this Muharram Tazia procession used to go. And my grandmother would make sure that, you know, we stand by the roadside with a new plastic bucket and glasses and mugs
Water.
and offer water to, you know, all these people who are taking Tajia procession. And, you know, we would ask her why. I mean, you don't touch anything which is touched by Muslim. And her, you know, reply was that वो भी तो अपने धर्म का काम करने जा रहे हैं. No. So
Absolutely.
there should be our contribution. वो भी अपने धर्म का काम कर रहे हैं, तो हमारा भी कुछ योगदान उसमें होना चाहिए. So I consider such people as heroes. You know, I mean, they taught us what secularism is all about. When all the war stories that we hear about the China war and also 1971 war, I was small, but I still remember a few things, how all these women, the housewives, they were ready to donate all their jewelry for the war effort. They are heroes. I mean, something which the family earned the whole life, all the gold ornaments, and just so that, India doesn't fall short of funds, they are out there ready to donate all their jewelry for the country. They are the heroes. You also mentioned about your teacher and professor. Same here. I mean, in school, there are some teachers who, of course, they were paid for it, as we discussed. They were paid for it, but they taught us absolutely selflessly. The only aim of their teaching was that we become something, better in life by understanding this, whatever subject that they are teaching. They would ensure that whatever they are teaching, we are able to grasp it in whatever way, but they would make sure. So that was, I mean, he's my hero because he taught me that way. So, talking about how civilians can contribute to nation building. Well, firstly, I would say, why have this, demarcation between military and civilian? All of us, we are citizens of India, and all of us have equal responsibility in nation building. Defense services, along with nation building, we also do nation defending. We defend nation. But in nation building, everybody has got equal part. We also do nation building. Armed forces does so much of infrastructure work, constructs roads and interior areas, electricity supply, water supply, even teachers in schools. I remember in Operation Sadbhavna in some J&K villages, our Jawans, they used to go and teach in school because the teacher was not able to come to the school that day. So all this is part of nation building. And similarly for civilians also, there's nothing different. I mean, there's no difference between military and civilian when it comes to nation building. If every citizen of the country deliberately says that, okay, I am going to do whatever is expected from me, whatever job I am in. If I am a student, it is expected of me that I would study hard. If I am a sports person, it is expected of me that I would work hard, practice very hard of my sport. If I am working in an IT firm, it is expected that, okay, I would prepare better software. So whatever is expected of you, if you do that sincerely, without any kind of corruption at any level, then you are the hero and you are into nation building. So I'm sure there are so many other speakers also. We would have some very, very similar views about it. So over to you, back to you, Lokesh.
Sir, you have voiced whatever I had wanted to say. That is a problem with speaking second. I'm sure Major Smita would also have the same views. Major Smita, what do you think? You've been in the armed forces, now you're into the corporate sector. What do you look at when you say everyone should contribute towards nation building? Over to you, Major Smita.
Thank you so much. So, like we had this thing initially saying that patriotic, how we can, devote being patriotic. So being patriotic means devotion and vigorous support to one's country. So it's not just, like everybody else also mentioned, standing in Savdan and going to the movie theater and listening to Vande Mataram and all those things on the actual days when we celebrate our Republic Day or Independence Day. So everyone, every citizen is a person who is patriotic if his heart beats true for his country. And that is possible only if everybody contributes in some or the other way. Very small, small things we'll say, like Swachh Bharat. So in that, what do? We are being good citizens. So patriotism, like Malik sir said, it is not only confined to why we say it is only for, Fauji's. And why do we say we civilians? You have a better, I should say, you have much more and very important role to play, because we have our set, we have our set duties, right? But then you all have so many other duties that you have to take care of for the country from within, right? So, like we say, learning starts from the home, right? And cleanliness also starts from the home itself. So, home is what? Country, India for us, right? So, I would also mention few more things which we should do for that is right education, right? So, there has to be right education to every individual. Youth is very important. Right education, right track given to them can be very, very useful for the growth of India. Now we see India is coming up as a very important nation. It's developed almost, we are doing so much. Everybody is knowing us. Our vaccine was the first which came out. It just came out, it did just come out from somewhere. It was somebody who was doing something about it, right? And we all should join hands together to contribute in our own simple ways. Like know and encourage Indian actual history and the rich culture that we have. We should teach all our kids about it. We should teach about Vedas and all. This is my perception. I feel so. When grassroots level has to actually change, and then only something we can do into nation building. It's a very big responsibility. Now, when we should be truthful to the votes that we do. That's another major thing, like Lokesh sir said. So we cannot trip about the government that we have got. Instead of tripping, we should find solutions to it. We should work along with them. That's what I think. And yeah, we should also follow simple traffic rules. We crib about traffic rules, right? But we still break it. So if we can't be, disciplined ourselves, and we can't say that we are helping in nation building, right? So apart from all this, in a nutshell, I would like to say everybody should work with the compassionate heart, with a lot of passion in whatever they do. So we have to add a lot of skills. We have to produce people with skill sets. So each individual, if coming up with some kind of skill set, just imagine the country will have so many great people who will be doing great in their own fields. We have so many entrepreneurs. COVID has given us such a break, and I know we have lost many lives. I know still many people came together to fight it and help many whom they didn't even know, right? So I think there was a lot of learning in it. There was a lot of compassion that we should take from COVID and go ahead. We should really take the responsibilities on our head, and I believe that will help us for nation building. One more thing I would like to say, because I have been into solar. So yes, carbon footprints we can also think of, right? So carbon footprints is a very important thing. We all use vehicles. We are bikers, we are motorcyclists, we are motor enthusiasts, rally enthusiasts. But what we do ultimately is we are burning fuel also along with it. So the responsibility which best upon us is by planting trees. So try and adopt some trees and plant some trees. It doesn't take much. Now I'll give you my small example. My daughter, she's so cute. She'll every time there are some roots or something coming from any veggie or ginger or turmeric, she will take it and try and plant it and see if it comes out. And if it comes out, she goes anywhere and plant it. So it's small things. But yes, this is the education, the culture which our old generation had. Our elders had passed on to. Unfortunately, we are forgetting our own culture, and Westerns are adopting our culture more than us. Now, I am also being a yoga enthusiast. I read Vedas, I read Yoga Sutras. They are beautiful. They have explained so many things which people have later on again reiterated, and Westerns are more learning these techniques and adopting them in their life to have more peace, calm, and then help in their own simple ways in the community. I think we should all get back to our roots, and this is a brilliant opportunity. Like we used to have big conferences, and it was so difficult to organize a simple conference. But like this beautiful forum which we have, we all have come from different part of the country and celebrating a beautiful day. Kargil Vijay દિવસ is extremely important for India. So with this note, I would like to say, I think I've said a lot.
Thank you, Major Smita. Actually, it was so nice hearing from all of you. Like you said, Major Smita, your daughter, she takes roots from small things and tries to plant trees. Similarly, I got reminded of on a short family trip to Kullu. I remember my son bringing orange seeds from Kullu so that he will give it to his grandmother, my mom, because he had seen her so very fond of planting trees. And he was collecting all the orange seeds over there, and he bought them back and said, I will give it to my grandmom and she'll plant trees for me. So, like they say, as you sow, so shall you reap. हम जैसे बच्चे लोग देखते हैं, सीखते हैं, ultimately वो लोग करते भी वैसे ही हैं. So, even Colonel Saxena said, real heroes don't have a name on their back of their jerseys. They wear the country's flag. You don't need to be known to do anything. You want to do it, you just go out and do it. If you're doing it for name's sake, I don't think then you're doing it from your heart. And if I'm not wrong, I think you people will be a better person to tell me. I have heard that Singapore and Britain, they have a minimum of like every citizen should be working minimum for 5 years in the armed forces before taking up any job. Is it true?
Yeah.
And okay. So I think it's a great, I don't know why, but then again, when you have, even if you are in short service or whatever you're doing, you get that discipline. अपने आप आपके मन में आ जाता है कि yes, I have to do something. Contribution कितना ही छोटा और बड़ा चाहे क्यों ना हो, like we say, जब राम सेतु बनाते वक्त squirrels, such small creatures, but they wet themselves and with rubbed some sand on them, and they started, making the bridge. It was part of their contribution. So it is a matter of, what you intend to do. Your intentions should be correct. And Colonel Satish also spoke so nicely about so many things, festivals that we celebrate. And yes, coming from a defense background, I don't think you ever feel that this particular culture or this particular tradition doesn't belong to me, or you don't belong to this place. I don't know.
No.
Defense background, it has given, you feel
We
comfortable wherever you go.
In the armed forces, we have seen a Hindu officer standing in a church or a gurdwara. We have seen a Muslim officer reciting the Aarti better than a Hindu would do it.
Yes,
The armed forces is supposed to be the most non-religious group of people, men and women, that has ever been seen.
Yes, and you feel so proud. Like even I have lived more years in and out of defense area than in my defense area. Like more than 35 years, I am almost a civilian, and I have lived in a civilian. But still, my roots belong to that, and I can relate to each and everything you say. And when throwing things, tidbits over here and there, when I used to collect them, my friends used to laugh at me and say ki dekho na municipality ka commissioner ho jana chahiye. This is what they use. But then again, we don't find it it's not a big thing. But yahi cheez wo log foreign mein jaake, when they are not allowed to litter here and there, then they understand the value. But doing the same in your own country, I don't think unko itni sharmindagi kyun hoti hai. I think Mayank Awasthi is right with us. He wants to say something. Over to you, Mayank.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
And I would like to thank all the prestigious people that are present over here. I mean, we all love our soldiers. That's one thing about India that's very different. So I actually have lived out of India for like over 10 years. And there's one thing like I noticed, like, I mean, it was Israel and Singapore, like as Smita mentioned, like these are the countries where like they forced you to participate in the army and like serve the country for 2 years. Of course, I mean, the reasons are obvious. They are small countries and they need, I mean, the army to be growing in one way and somebody to be there. But then like in India, it's totally different. We love our soldiers love our country. That's one thing that's absolute. I tell you, like while I used to live in UK, I mean, like I can see like every Indian, they talk about India. Apparently, if you consider other countries, I never found anybody like having that flavor. But yeah, we have that. We love our country. We all always felt that someday, I mean, like some or the other way, we have to contribute to the country. And I'll tell you, I mean, there's another aspect that I actually returned altogether because, I mean, I never get a feel that, okay, I should be living in outside of India. Now, when we come back to India, then our perspective changes. Why our perspective changes? Our perspective changes because we see many issues that needs to be addressed. Like Major Smita highlighted, energy, I mean, solar energy, that's actually one of the most important aspect which is happening in the world across. I mean, we are actually not energy resilient. We are dependent on petrol, and that actually is affecting climate very adversely. So at the moment, like when Ashish, I remember we all discussed and we thought like we will do the plantation drive. That all started because of this only. Like, I mean, we need to work, we need to contribute something. So that's where like we all came up that, yeah, I mean, all the bikers, we all have a moral obligation to do that. And luckily, I mean, we saw a great momentum there. And I think next month is August, where like, again, we are commencing that activity, which Ashish will like to highlight later, that, I mean, how we all can come together and contribute to it. And one more thing I will tell about Kargil, like, I mean, I come from the city where like we send maximum officers in army. I come from Lucknow. So Kargil was very much close to our heart. Like in 1999, I was like in class 9th at that time. And, you know, like I was so keenly following all that because Captain Manoj Pandey was my relative and other army veterans and army like officers' wives used to be our teachers. So we got so much like close to this thing that, I mean, this was something very important for us. And I mean, now also like when I feel that, I mean, I actually went to Dras in the month of March. I especially made a point that I will need to visit Kargil Memorial and pay my homage to my elder brother. And that was very important for me. And it was a totally different feeling when I went and saw the Tiger Hill, the Tolo Link. I mean, I feel that we are not justifying ourselves by not respecting our soldiers if we do that. That's very wrong. And I would like to one more thing, that in UK, they have a complete month called Poppy Month, where like, I mean, they respect all the veterans, everybody will be contributing to it, they will be using that. I want to bring something like that as a change in the country, I mean, like in India as well, and want to make others also oriented towards it. So I would need your help in this. I think we all can do that. So that is all I would like to say, and Jai Hind to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayank. Actually, till now, we all considered Lucknow to be just the city of Nawabs. But now when you say that many of the officers come from your city, respect for you and your city. Yes, Major Smita, you would like to say something? Over to you.
Yes, I'll say. Like Mr. Mayank said, that we actually, like Singapore and all these countries have this option, which is like mandatory for a few years. So which make them a little disciplined. They're very disciplined countries. They're very set, good rules out there. So the law is very strong. So you'll not find any person just spitting anywhere. We have to write in so many words everywhere, but still people go and spit. You know, so that's a citizen's responsibility. But then we don't follow it. However, it is written in big words. So there are few opportunities which Indian Army has actually made available for everybody, like Territorial Army. So now they have started for women entries also. That's very nice. And it is like from 18 to 42 age, you can apply. So it's a very good opportunity. You can, the major thing that needs to be there is you should be gainfully employed somewhere. So basically, when you are not working with the TA for that duration, you can go back in your civil boots and then continue your work there. So it's a brilliant. Is already on. So if anybody is interested, they can actually apply also. Apart from that, yes, the youth can always come into armed forces. Like Colonel Lokesh also said that 5 years they should go for short service at least. Now, not 5 years. We were 5 years products, but then yes, it is 10 years now. So yes, they should go. It's a beautiful organization. They will learn a lot of discipline. They will learn a lot of many things. It's a total lifestyle, like it has been spoken earlier, and it will really change your life. I was a big introvert, and now people have to stop me to speak. But then yes, I myself, like you said initially, Smita, you would like to know some little more insights about how the life in uniform was for me. So maybe a glimpse I will give, and then I'll again leave the podium for everybody else to speak on the same topic we are talking about. Being a woman officer from a family where my mother's side, girls were supposed to get married the moment they turned 18. And she took a step and made me go for army out of all. So for us, me being the first generation and knew nothing about Forge, and everybody was like, "Kyun bhej rahi ho ladki ko?" that ways. So, but my mother took a stand. She said, "No, why not? She can go." I went, I did good and got selected. Went into Forge, had a pelvic fracture, still continued my journey in training. And one thing kept me going, which was like, I cannot give up. I should not give up. And that thing came from nowhere else but the academy itself. The 6 initial months academy which was there, that time itself that got inculcated in me. So just imagine the next years which you are going to serve in India, you are going to learn quite a lot. It changes you like 360 degree. People say, I will say, if there is one more degree added to it, it is possible. So it's a brilliant organization. If you really want to get the glimpse of it, it really enhances your capabilities, your personality, your everything, I will say. And you become multitasker. You can do anything under the tree, under the roof you can handle. That's why you can also say, I'm a HR, I'm operations, I'm blah, 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 blah. It's not because I will say it's because the organization has gifted me this opportunity. It has trained me in such a way that I can do that. And when an introvert girl like me could do it, any other girl from India can do it. I would like to end up with that and then leave the podium for everybody else.
Thank you so much, Major Smita. There's one quote written by an American poet and author, Muriel Strode, which says, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Maybe you and many people like you set perfect examples for this. Congratulations from being the first from your family to have joined the forces. I think once you are a trendsetter, maybe the next generations will definitely follow you. Over to you, Colonel Lokesh.
Major Smita, you spoke about the Territorial Army. Perhaps I would want to add something to what you just said. The deadline for applications has opened on the 20th. The website is www.jointerritorialarmy.gov. So all those desirous of joining the Territorial Army, kindly log on to this website and put in your applications.
Thanks a lot, Colonel Lokesh and Major Smita, for giving an insight of how we can join the Territorial Army. I just hope that majority of people who are listening to us, they get encouraged and they feel and they get motivated and join the defense. I think it is not, I don't know whether the country needs it or not, but you definitely need it. As a person, it is going to change your life. So anybody else, any speaker? Yes. Okay, we have a query from Rajeshri Padhi who wants to know more about, I think Rajeshri, we are having another session on this. So, which will be dealing typically on, ways and different ways on how you can join the army. But in any ways, we have got some time. Would any one of you like to answer her questions? She wants to know what are the ways she can join the armed forces. Colonel Lokesh or Major Smita, any other way apart from territorial army, any other? Yes, Colonel Lokesh, over to you, sir.
Rajshri, there are various ways in which you can join the armed forces. One is the direct entry for civilian students. You need to be a graduate and you need to write the Combined Defense Services examination. Once you qualify in the examination, you have a 6-day services selection board interview. Once you clear the interview, there is a merit-based selection. You need to come into the top number of vacancies that are available. That is how you can join the army as a direct entry cadet. The second avenue for you is if you are an NCC cadet and you have a C certificate with a minimum of Bravo grading, you can join without writing the entrance exam, directly go in for an SSB interview. Again, the same procedure is followed. 6 to 7 days SSB interview, medical, and then a merit list. The third way, of course, is the territorial army. These are 3 ways where women can join the army. Likewise, for the Air Force, there is an AFCAT, Air Force Common Admission Test, which you need to write after your graduation. And then the same procedure, qualify in the written, go for an Air Force Selection Board interview, and then a medical, after which a merit list is drawn up. Naval cadets again have the same thing. There is a naval entrance exam. Apart from Air Force, Army, and Navy, you also have the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard has opened up for the lady cadets very long back, much before the Army did. The entrance for Coast Guard also follows the same procedure. Rajshri, your query was about the criteria mentioned in the advertisement. Yes, the criteria mentioned are very clearly given. Your educational criteria, your basic health standards, and your age criteria is very clearly mentioned in the advertisement. Watch out for these advertisements in employment news, or if you're net savvy, keep logging on to joinindianarmy.nic.in. That is the official website. Log on to it and set your updates.
May I just intervene for a second, please? We have lot many queries here, and I would like to tell everyone that we are coming up with another webinar with our esteemed speakers today, wherein the topic would in fact be women and youth in armed forces, where we would be elaborately discussing about the ways of getting through and the options in the armed forces. And the webinar would be held on 1st and again on 15th of August at 4 p.m. The webinar link would be shared with you in the same channel. So here we have we are discussing it though, but we will elaborately be discussing on this topic on 1st and on 15th of August. So stay tuned with us.
Yes, that is what I just wanted to mention. And Sangeeta, I think it would be appropriate if you put in your Gmail ID also. If anybody wants mail ID, if anybody wants any further information, they can get in touch, or any number, contact number, so that whenever we are conducting further webinars on such topics, they can get in touch. And I'm so very thankful that these people are getting encouraged to join the defense, and it gives me really lots of pleasure and unlike these people, but matlab all of you, Colonel Lokesh Saxena ji, Satish Malik ji, Smita ji, but you are so very humble, down to earth. Like they said, ki heroes to kuch nahi hote. That I remember one movie. Akshay Kumar was, what was the name? Soldier, Never on a Holiday, and there was a question कि he asked, ये देशभक्ति सब हमें ही क्यों दिखानी पड़ती है, बलिदान हमसे ही क्यों मांगा जाता है, तुम सिविलियंस क्यों नहीं दे सकते? That was such a small question, but yes, what impact actually. So we as a nation, and I just want to mention Major Smith also said, yes, I'm not just talking about the army or the air force or the navy, but I'm talking as a whole, even the police walas, the BSFs, the ITBP, all of us who are serving and protecting us as soldiers, whatever it is, the number as compared to the population of our country is less. The majority is the white collar job or the politicians. So if they start making a difference in every day-to-day life, I think the impact, the changes will be definitely more and highlighted. So the majority of the people now needs to understand their responsibilities and need to work on them. I think we have heard from almost all the speakers. Colonel Satish Malik, would you please like to add something?
Yes, thank you, Smita. The topic of today's complete discussion was about civilians and nation building. And I just thought that, I would like to conclude with forget about everybody else in this country. We are together here just because all of us are bikers and, motorsport enthusiasts. So in that capacity, we all have got together and we are discussing this. Forgetting everybody else, let's talk about us. When it comes to nation building as bikers, being good citizens, I at times I get pained to see the way some of the bikers behave. So it is very, very important that as bikers we understand our responsibility. We ride in groups. Riding in group, it doesn't mean that we have got the license to jump the red light. Just because 10, 12 of us, we are, going one after another. It doesn't mean that even if the traffic police is not standing there, it doesn't mean that we jump red light. Just because we are thrilled, biking in group and we are in a very good and happy mood, it doesn't mean we start honking. So these are the things, and like Lokesh also mentioned about it, littering. I have seen bikers littering all over the place. So if we can take care of all these small little things, and as this group has also done, and we pledge to continue with that, is whatever fuel we are burning, let's compensate that with the tree plantation. So if as bikers we can take these small steps in being good citizens for India, I think the country will be proud of us. Thank you.
Over to you, Colonel Lokesh. You want to say add few?
I just wanted to say that my colleagues here would agree with me that we've been hearing about this. We are indebted to you. We owe a debt of gratitude to you. We've been hearing this throughout our service. When we walk out in our uniform, people look at us with awe and with gratitude and with respect. To them, I want to say that when I say I include all of us in the who have been wearing a uniform or who have ever worn a uniform. For me, it is not a matter of you being indebted to me. It is the other way around. We are indebted to you for your love, your support, and of course, your tax money, which has funded my training and which is funding my upkeep. There are many other people who deserve your gratitude. There are sweepers who clean your roads every day. When you walk out of your house, you won't clean roads. There is a sweeper who's toiled at 4 a.m. and he swept the road. He is a hero. When you fall sick, you go to a doctor or maybe even a nurse. She is your hero. The guy who drives a truck throughout the day and night so that you get your rations on time. That man is your hero. We are not heroes. We are doing a job which we have been trained to do, which we have chosen to do. It is incidental that our Balidan involves giving life. Likewise, what Smita said, civilians Balidan क्यों नहीं दे सकते? देते हैं वो भी बलिदान. It is just that their Balidan does not involve giving up their lives. It involves effort. And every effort, in my view, is a Balidan. If you don't call it a Balidan, it is a Dan to the country. So let us continue giving this Dan to the country because the country is the reason why we are. It is not the other way around. देश है तो हम हैं तो देश नहीं है. And like former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji once said, हम रहे ना रहे, देश तो हमेशा रहना चाहिए. I shall conclude with this thought that please don't be indebted to us, be indebted to the country. We owe everything to the country, not to us. Over to you,
Okay,
Smita.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Colonel Lokesh. Yes, it's a right balance between each and every one of us, the government, the Vardiwalas, the non-Vardiwalas, the corporate world, everything. It's the contribution of each and every person, however small or big it is. Ultimately, we cannot run. It is a balance. It is a wheel. So we have heard a lot from all our speakers. Moving ahead to Mr. Ashish Singh, who is also the co-host for the evening. And as I said, he's the founder of Royal Cruisers Bangalore and chief admin of Biking Community of India. So over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Smita. First of all, congratulations to all of you for the Kargil Vijay Divas, the topic we are celebrating here, and we are all the bikers. And thanks, Satish sir, for joining today. And it's nice to meeting you again and hearing all these stories. So we missed today your stories at the war stories. And now come to the one by one points. I written few points like how can the topic, main topic is today is how the civilian can help to the nation building. So paying a tax, one of the way that Colonel mentioned, paying a tax, teaching, that is the one of the way we can make a good students here. Infrastructure, that is definitely required for the nation building. If we, now that we go to the Jammu and Kashmir or Kargil, roads are very good. And Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, that is the cleanliness is required. We all know about that one. Traffic rules, Satish sir is mentioned as that. So definitely everybody should follow the traffic rules as a normal citizens. We can do. It's a very easy task, but it's make a huge difference because a lot of accidents are happening in the everyday and people are dying. Then planting the trees. So I come to that point later. And Vedas, as a Major said, so definitely we should know our because Vedas are the most of the science books. I met one guy in a BHU, Banaras Hindu University, in a IIT seminar. He said that the Sanskrit is the very best language for the computer, for the supercomputer. So a lot of research is going on that. So that's the one thing. And our ancient, if you say the surgeon, it's a Sushrut. So many of people are know about that now the Sushrut. And 5-year service, as we mentioned about the Smita. So apart from that, the government is having NCC. I was an ex-NCC cadet. I did a C certificate. And Republic Day 1999. So many seniors are fought in the Kargil war. I lost few brothers in that. So NCC is the one way they can people directly or nearby they can feel how the army work and how the life is tough. So that is the one thing. And now coming to the one message there, I went to the Kargil, when the Kargil War Memorial was written there, when you go to the home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. So that is the message from the Kargil War heroes. So I want to convey to the, not to the all the guests, to the other audience those are joining the today. And apart from the plantation, as the Satish sir said, as a biker, we are burning the fuel, we have to reduce our carbon footprints. So as all of aware, we are doing that plantation drive in a worldwide. And last year, 2019, we got India Book of Record as the biggest plantation drive in India. 2020, when the pandemic is happening, we encourage the people to plant saplings at their home. And it's crossed the boundaries. Around 12 countries participated. They have planted trees on there, and many people ask the questions: "Ki save Earth, right? Riding a fossil fuel, how we are going to save Earth?" So we are saying, yeah, we are riding a bike, we are creating a pollution, but we, as a responsible citizen of country, as a responsible biker, we are trying to reduce our carbon footprints, and we are doing that. When we can't stop a ride, and that the line I came from the APJ Abdul Kalam, he visited our university, कि अगर कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो तो पेड़ ही लगा लो. If you are anything, अगर हम सोलर पे मूव नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम क्लीन एनर्जी पे मूव नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो जो एक बेसिक चीज कर सकते हैं, हम पेड़ लगा सकते हैं. So that we are doing, and every year we are conducting in August. And thanks to all the guests for joining today. And I praise to be here with you all and hearing stories to all the army officers. And thanks today, Smita. Smita, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ashish. Yes, there were many good things that you spoke about, tax, Vedas. And actually, now after seeing that the Westerns are coming back to our culture, we are now somehow satisfied that, yes, we need to hold on to our roots. Yes, like you said, the Kargil war heroes say, for your tomorrow, we have given up on our today. Very true, and we should respect all of them for that. Colonel Lokesh Saxena, would you like to say something, or we would?
Yeah, I would require 2 minutes. Colonel Satish sir,
Yes.
you are one of those who has given their today for our tomorrow. The audience would like to hear maybe a short account of yours during the Kargil war. Probably help them understand what all of us have gone through in 1999. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Lokesh. Well, again, I would say not really that I have given my today for your tomorrow. We all did our work. We all, what was expected of us, we did that.
Oh, that is how the nation likes to think of us. We gave our today for their tomorrow. So let's play by it.
So for me, I was deployed on line of control at that time, and our role was to stop infiltration. And just before the war, there was mass-scale infiltration, which is they were trying to make. And during one of the operations where they were trying to infiltrate in front of my company, I had gone ahead to the LC and stopped them. They all ran back to Pakistan. And while I was coming back to my company headquarters, I stepped over a landmine somewhere, and that blew off my left leg below me. I was evacuated, amputated, sent to the artificial limb center here in Pune, and fitted with an artificial limb. And since then, I have been on this prosthetic leg, live my life as normal as possible, like everybody else, do my biking seriously. I have never given up on that. I ran marathon, I play games, I played squash. So all that continued. I swim. So there's nothing which is stopping me in any way. I more or less lead a normal life now. So that's what happened.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, Colonel Malik, for that inspiring real life stories coming from your end, which will always inspire and maybe aspire to be a defense personnel. Maybe for me, not possible, but for my generation next, could be. Thank you so much for being a part of this forum. I can see Colonel Jacob joining us. Colonel Jacob was actually with Colonel Malik in Kargil. So, just welcome to you. Good evening.
First of all, apologies for joining late. I'm traveling and I had a little net issue. So finally solved it now.
No worries, sir.
Yeah, Jai Hind to all of you. Colonel Malik, sir.
Jai Hind, Jacob, how are you?
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir. So yes, so we were all there at that time in Kargil War, because that was our time there. And I remember I moved from Gopalpur. We were shifted at short notice to the border. So I was in Longewala that day. So I was not in the active part of the war, when you say. So what happens is when something like this happens, the entire army is prepared for any kind of action anywhere in the borders or in TS. Anyway, we are prepared for everything. So you can't concentrate the war only on Kargil or other place. So depending on our role at that particular point of time and the particular department, I would say the unit where we are working, depending on that, you are deployed at various places. So it is fortunate, unfortunate, or destiny that where the action takes place and what happens to people. So salute to all the heroes who took up, the duty beyond the call of duty, the sacrifice beyond the call of duty in Kargil. It was a very, very tough job. We have seen that it was nearly suicidal kind of operations which was happening there. But that is what when it happens to when it happens to the country, when country is in front and the integrity of the country is in question, and Fauji's, in fact, none of the Indians, we don't leave any chance to anything. The only thing at that time in mind is victory and success. So that's it. I mean, you get angry about doing this. It's not about logic. You cannot fight a war with logic. So that's how it works, and it's emotions which works. And you've done a good job. Salute to all the heroes who have done that. And at this point, I just want to mention one small thing. That is, while we remember the Kargil heroes, we should also remember all the heroes all through the history of India. There are unsensational actions which take place, and the lives lost or the sacrifice done or the courage shown is same or even more at times. So it's a time to remember all the martyrs, not limited to Kargil itself, and 71 war, before that, every day-to-day life in JNK, in many places in Northeast, so many places, every day it's a war being fought, and every day lives are lost. Every day people live up to expectations beyond the call of duty. It's an ongoing process. So thanks to all the heroes who made us proud and make this tricolor of our country flying high. Thank you.
That includes you too.
Thank you.
Yes, Colonel Jacob rightly said, every day is a hero. We cannot just pay homage to one particular war and forget about the rest of the wars. The war starting from the Mahabharata or the fought between Ram and Ravan, or the ongoing war between Iraq, Saudi Arabia, India, China, or even what Rani Jhansi fought, or the freedom fights for India. Each and every war, battle has played significant role in our existence. And yes, it is a great teamwork. So solo soldier can never fight a war. It is always a great teamwork, and kudos to the whole team who has always been together, so very united. Over to you, Mayank. Yeah, I just want to say a few things. I can still see Rajshri and some raised hands. We have given the details in the chat box. Please, we have the mail ID and everything in the chat box. Kindly please go through it, and any queries, you can please mail us there. Since we are heading our scheduled time, we need to close. So over to you, Mayank.
Yeah, so Colonel Jacob, thanks to you, it was very beautifully put. The soldier is always on duty. That's what they say. And that's very true. But one thing, especially from the bikers, actually, I want to highlight, and especially it's a message to all the clubs or fellow riders who are there. Like, I saw one very particular thing, like there are motorcyclists who go onto these terrains and then they do gimmicks, which actually becomes a stress for army. Army is on the borders for a purpose. But these people who go there and do these gimmicks become a trouble for all the people who are posted over there, which is not right. I recently came across a couple of photos on Facebook where like few people took their motorcycle in Sokar region. Sokar is one lake which is all surrounded by desert. and it's cold desert. Like usually it is minus temperature is in negatives, and there is no chance of any habitat in next 10-15 kilometers. And these guys were like lost. And apparently the units were notified and they were sending the search parties. But these type of things when bikers do, right, you are creating a stress, which is not right. So this message should always go that whenever you are riding, ride responsibly. I mean, don't create a problem for others. I mean, this one thing which was like, I felt that I should share. And I mean, this message should be conveyed across.
Okay, thank you, Mayank, for sharing this point of yours. As a responsible biker, it is your responsibility to take care of all these. Yes, Ashish, over to you. I think we'll be winding up in another 15 to 20 minutes. So I request all of you to be precise. Ashish, over to you next. After that, I'll come to you, Major Smita.
Yeah, a few points I forget to mention, because we are talking about the most of our guests mention about the plantation drive. So the Biker Queens, who is the host of the main, initiated that event. They are planted a tree on the Pulwama Matters name. They are put labels on that we already that we written our article about that one and posted on our Talktales website. So lot of things we are doing for the as a biker for the society, and lot of initiative taken by the different clubs. And as a community, we are supporting each and everyone for the causes. So that is the one important point I want to mention here about the plantation.
Yes, Ashish, I was just about to come to that. We, the Road Queens, like the logo itself has, biking by passion and social work by compassion. They have taken up all these as their ISR, and they have done a lot on social work, starting from seed bombing to plantation drives, and even ride for a cause. Like riding, anybody does riding for a pleasure, but riding with a cause, actually for and raising funds for people who need to undergo some kind of surgery or anything. So it is always usual for if you're riding, ride with a cause. It is a great motive, and it's a very big way you can help the society. Yeah, over to you, Smita, Major Smita.
Right. So I just remembered one thing which I thought it's related to Kargil War, and it will be related otherwise also. How citizens, you are saying, normal citizens can help. In Kargil War, because it was in Ladakh, there were so many Ladakhis, civilians, who helped Fauj in many different ways. So that is what I'll say, courage bound the situation. They helped us. I don't know how much I'll be able to correlate with Malik sir and Jacob sir in this, but then yes, I think I have heard many stories, and I know about it because I have been in Ladakh for 4 years. So they themselves, without any things that what will happen to them and all, they used to do so many things. So I think we can take an example from them also. So any situation, any responsibility, we don't have to wait for a war to happen and then support army or any other such organization. We should respect them. We should respect whatever they do. We should help them wherever we can. We should be a responsible citizen with the righteous frame of mind and do right things, like we all have mentioned already.
Yes, yes, very true, Major Smita. Yes, Sunil Kumar, is your question relevant to today's topic? Because we are running out of time. I can see his hand being raised for quite some time. So, yes,
yeah,
Sunil.
I want to say something. See, all questions are always answerable. Soldier ही होता है. वो आपके गुरु की फॉर्म में होगा या आपके सोल्जर फॉर्म में होगा. हर पब्लिक में हर एक अंश अपने आप में एक सोल्जर है. वो वर्दी में है या बिना वर्दी है, वो देश की सेवा में हमेशा तत्पर रहता है. हिंदुस्तानी जो एक वो है ना कर्म, ये कर्म हमेशा देता है अपनी संस्कृति से, अपने भाव से, अपनी प्रकृति से. हम हिंदुस्तान में कहीं भी आंख उठा के देख ले, हमें प्रकृति नजर आती है, हमें हरियाली नजर आती है. मेरा ये मानना है कि अगर मैं यूनिफॉर्म नहीं पहन सका तो मैं अपने देश को हरा भरा कर दूंगा, क्योंकि मेरा कर्तव्य है, मेरा कर्तव्य है अपने देश के लिए कुछ ऐसा करना जिसके लिए मैं नहीं, मेरे आने वाली जो जनरेशन है, दे शुड प्राउड ऑफ इट। आज मैंने कर्नल्स को सुना, आज मैंने स्मिता जी को सुना, मुझे लग रहा है कि मैं आज भी 12th क्लास का बच्चा हूं जो कारगिल युद्ध के टाइम फोन लेके पापा का वेट कर रहा हूं, पापा फोन करेंगे, बिकॉज माय फादर वाज आल्सो इन द कारगिल वॉर। बट आई रियली प्राउड ऑफ दैट यू गाइस हैड जस्ट make my day. I don't have words to say, but you had make my day a golden day. Thank you, thank you. A soldier is always a soldier.
I can understand your emotions, Sunil. Actually, we can all correlate. I really wish आप कहीं भी हैं, कुछ भी करें, अगर आप चाहें तो आप भी हरित क्रांति ला सकते हैं। ठीक है, जैसे आपने कहा आप वर्दी नहीं पहन सके, पर वो if not olive green, then the greenery of the leaves आप उसको प्लांट करें and भारतवर्ष में हरित क्रांति लाएं फिर से। I think we are almost done with all our speakers. Just to for the nutshell and summing up of everything on this particular what we have heard from each and everybody, for the common man, it is not doing big things in a small way, but doing small things in a bigger way. So start taking baby steps, and it is not just you're doing once in a blue moon. आपको आज 26 जनवरी याद आ गया, 15th अगस्त आपको याद आ गया, कारगिल दिवस याद आ गया, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Please dedicate each and every day to patriotism. It is a very big thing. ये मतलब 365 days 24/7 आपके अंदर होना चाहिए. It is the way you live it. So summing up, I would like to thank first of all Sangeeta Sahu and Ashish, our host and co-host for this evening, for organizing such a beautiful event. Ae Watan Tere Liye, that has given us a platform to showcase many things, many views about our contribution as youth for our nation building. Colonel Lokesh Saxena for giving us such highlights. Colonel Satish Malik, the feather in the crown. Major Smita, thank you for taking out time and giving us your insightful details. Ashish and even Mayank for putting in his views. In future, we'll be definitely conducting further webinars on discussing upon various aspects of defense, personal, and also how to live this life. So please stay tuned. Shubh Ratri, good night, Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Once again,
thank you.
Thank you for all of you for being there with us. Thank you. Good night. Jai Hind.
जय हिंद. कौन बच्चा था ये जय हिंद?
बच्चा है, cute सा.
Thank
मैंने
you.
पूछा भी उसे.
My blessings to the बच्चा. जय हिंद.
Hello.
जय हिंद.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Chaliye. Shaba khair. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Looking forward to seeing
Thank
you
you,
all
everyone.
over again. Good night,
One
sweetheart.
second, sir. Sorry, Satish sir has left already. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. My kids were very much enthusiastic to meet Colonel Satish and Colonel Lokesh. Colonel Lokesh, Major
Smita.
Okay, do we have Colonel Jacob? Okay,
All left.
I think he has left.
I'm sorry. Next time, Pakka. I'm sorry. Just
No,
a Jai
I'm
Hind.
here. Hello, girls. Can you introduce yourselves?
Colonel Lokesh is here.
Yes,
Colonel
girls. Can you
Lokesh,
introduce
sir,
yourselves?
is here.
I saw you both on the
Say
bike
hello.
riding with your mommy. Hello. What's your name?
My name is Mahi.
No, one by one.
One first. Mahi and Monu. I'll not take
Oh,
much of your
nice.
time, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been overwhelming, actually.
Pleasure
And thank you
meeting these
very
young
much, Smita.
angels.
Tina, my sister, my dearest sister, for taking it up. I wouldn't have been able to. Thank you, Ashish, for clubbing. As usual, आपका साथ रहेगा तो आगे बहुत काम आप पहले भी किया है, आगे भी करेंगे.
Always for a
All
cause.
for the nation, ए वतन तेरे लिए. We are bikers who truly believe that. So,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Hats off to your spirit,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Signing
Bye.
off for tonight. We'll meet you soon.
Yes, we meet soon.
Shubhratri.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Shubhratri.
Shubhratri.